All right, good morning, everyone. It's May 15th of 2024, and let's do a quick market review. Um, how can I say this in a nice way? For those of you who keep shorting this market, I'm not sure why you're doing it, but I have a lot of people in the Discord server who keep asking me, is it time to short the market? And it's a interesting conversation because when you look at what we teach here, as far as the four ETFs, you can clearly see that we are in an 8-day uptrend in the SPXL, 9-day uptrend in TNA, 8-day uptrend in TQQQ, and an 8-day uptrend in UDOW. Now, the reason why I say that is interesting because it always seems like that as people come in and out of the Discord server, that the new blood, the new members, they always have this the market is against me mentality. And so therefore, I am going to beat it to the very first punch and I'm going to be ahead of it. And one of the things that I've taught people is that you have to understand what a trend is. And once you understand what you have defined to be a trend, you're going to sleep a whole lot better at night. Now, does it mean it's always right? Absolutely not, right? Anything can happen in the market. Anything can happen in the market. But one thing I do know is that the people who are always trying to beat the market and land that first punch are the very first ones who don't sleep at night and they wake up to a huge gap up like we have right now. And what I don't understand is that, first of all, if you've clearly have defined what you to be a trend, why would you even take a position other than you're trying to predict that the market is going to go lower? So here's my advice. This is normally what I tell people who are new to trading. Stop digging the hole. If you know that you are blowing up your account by shorting the market, it's very simple. Stop shorting the market and learn how to go long. Define what you believe to be a trend and then let the market prove you wrong rather than you trying to be smarter than the market. And once you get to that point, you're going to see a lot of things change. Okay? You're going to sleep better at night. You're going to be more confident when you take a trade. You're going to understand that stocks like Nvidia right here, that these are clearly being bought. And we know that because every time frame here tells us that people are buying this stock. That is how you get a chart to look like this. People have to buy it. And it goes all the way down to the smaller time frame where you have to then define how you're going to enter this trade so that you can benefit from it. Stop watching all the people out there who are day trading this crap. Now, I only know a handful of people who can do it successfully, okay? Only a handful. And I tell you what, they are phenomenal. They are just unbelievable traders. And I'm not going to tell you who they are, but I have a lot of respect for them because that isn't how my brain works. And so once you understand that you need to design this to be your own sandbox and that the market has to do what you want it to do, you're going to start looking at things completely different. Okay? And for me, it was using these multiple time frames and using full time frame continuity because I understand that a stock like Nvidia, that when it pulls back right here on these days right here, I love it. I love it because in order for it to go up, it's got to pull back. And then it can run again, and then it can pull back. And yes, every now and then the market gets a little choppy and we might have a continuation to the downside. But the one thing that I want to point out is that on these bigger time frames, it still shows that this stock is getting bought. And we can see that right here, right now. pre-market. They are trying to gap this thing up to 925.71. Now, what's relevant about that is that this line right here, this 922.25, is going to trigger this monthly chart to go 2-2 reversal back up, and we are going to have a target in the earnings to previous high, 974. For those of you who have been part of the Discord server, we've been in this thing since here, right here, this trade right here. Or we got in right here once we got above the 10. And we've just been sitting here comfortably. And how did we do that? We didn't overtrade it. We took a position that we were comfortable taking, and we stopped playing Russian roulette with options. We just simply took a trade. Well, Phil, NVIDIA is a $913 stock. I can't afford that. You know what? That might be true. So if that's the case, guess what? Trade the ETF. Trade the ETF at $40.28. And that's something that some of you need to learn too, is that almost every big player in the market, like your NVIDIA or Apple or Tesla, they all have an ETF that you can buy. And look at this thing. This thing is gapping up to 41.36. And so there are a lot of members right now in the Discord server who are in this position and not the true NVIDIA one, because let's be honest, their bank account is either smaller than most, or they're just not comfortable yet trading a $913 stock. And so if you're not comfortable doing that, stop playing into that part and giving up all your money. Find something that's going to allow you to sit in the trade when you have defined what you believe to be an uptrend. All right, enough of that. Let's take a quick look at what is going on here. As far as that goes, we've got several big names in here that are still doing well. ARM is one of them. This is a name that I've been in since the 95 area. We got the nice big bounce that we wanted right here when we went inside and we went up. And so for me, this is an easy trade, right? When we go inside and we go up, I'm putting my stop right here. And then as this trade starts to work, I am just moving it up. Now, I really believe that this thing has the potential to get back up to the 121 area. Will it? I don't know. But that's the potential that it has. And I'm basing that upon what I see here in my bigger time frames. All right. Financials continue to move well. Pick a financial, write it right now. We are 2 up on the year for this, 2 up on the quarter, 2 up on the week, and they're still buying it. Some of the other names that are out there that came up on my scan, GigaCloud is one of them. This is a fairly new name. I have never traded GigaCloud, but I am looking to get into this one. Corning has done exceptionally well. This is one of the names that kind of got beat down in the last year or two, and they're buying this thing up along with 3M. I guess I probably should bring up 3M. 3M was a condo play that we had mentioned in the group, and we mentioned this when it took out the previous low right here at 77.54, and we just started to buy a position in this once we got down here. And I know guys who have been in this trade since here, this 75, 76 area, and they're just thrilled to death because this is a good name. Condo plays are exactly what they say. You're just buying $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 or whatever you feel comfortable as far as a position in the market, and you're buying it because it's on sale. And if you know anything about 3M, it pays a really good dividend. And if you can get in at 75, 80, collect the dividend, write it back up, because that happens time and time and time again in the market where things go on sale and then things go back up. Let's take a look at HPE. This is another name we've been long since $16. This is continuing to move well in the earnings. This thing sooner or later is going to have to get above this 20.07, but the first target for me would be around that $17 to $18 area. Speaking of getting beat up, Intel is one of these names that just got killed here. And if you look at these bigger time frames, you can see that we have inside year and an inside year. And so this has just been nothing more than a chop fest for a lot of people. So if you're not trading the strat and if you don't have a trading system, you're getting chopped up all through here, okay? But we've been waiting patiently for this thing to set up, and we finally are getting our 2-2 reversal on the month, and hopefully this thing will continue up. Yeah, a lot of us got into this trade around the $29, $30 area. So this has been a really good one. You know, one of the things that I teach people in the server is how to sell puts. And if you've never sold a put in your life, you really should come and drop into the server and we should talk, because selling puts and selling cover calls really help change how I approach the market. Let's take a look at some of the other ones here before the market opens. Keurig Dr. Pepper, full time frame continuity. I don't think I'd chase it here, 19 days up. MFC is another one, 16 days up. Morgan Stanley, again, another financial. NVIDIA, we already talked about. ON is one that I've been in for over a year, if you can believe it. I've been in this stock for over a year, and I just keep selling cover calls against it. And sooner or later, you know what? They're going to call my shares away. But I can tell you right now, I probably have sold over 20 cover calls in the last year on this particular name, and just been banking it the whole way. So that's something that you can learn. Open is one that we just took for a quick pop the other day. Again, a lot of new traders in the server who don't have a big bank account, and they said, "Hey, you know, what do you think of this one?" And I told them, this is one that if you got into it, you know, you're trying to make 20, 40 bucks on it. That's it, because it's a $2 stock. You know, you have to be realistic. And I think sometimes people have the expectations that they're going to buy an open and they're going to get GameStop, something like this, right? Where these stocks get pushed higher because of whatever reason. I mean, I don't care. Some people say it's because of news or whatever, but this is clearly a case of manipulation where people have taken the wrong side and someone sees the opportunity to make a lot of money to the upside or to the downside. And guess what? They're gonna they're gonna take that trade and they're gonna force people to cover. And that's exactly what you have going on in GameStop and in AMC, is that wherever the money can be made, people, that's where the action is going to be. And so one of the names that came up was Open, like, hey, is this going to happen with Open? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't I don't have a crystal ball and I can't predict whether or not that'll happen. What I can tell you is that if I get into this trade, that it's only going to be for a 20 or $40 swing, because, you know, you buy 100 shares or 1,000 shares or whatever you're comfortable with. PBI, this thing is another condo play. It's trying to go 2 up for the year. It's already gone 2 up for the quarter. And this is one of those names where, you know, if you're playing a condo here, you have 20 shares going into earnings and it's already put in an all-time low. You're just letting these 20 shares just run, right? Because this thing used to be somebody up in the $50 area, or maybe you're just trying to trade it back to the $15 area or to the $27 area. It happens a lot. And so those condo plays, they're for real. And for $100, how can you go wrong? Uh, Pfizer is another condo play here that has been kind of getting some attention, but in my opinion, it still looks good and it pays a good dividend. And if you truly are a long-term investor, this thing is on sale. And no, I don't know if it's going to go bankrupt. That's the number one question people tell me. So based upon what you've seen and what you know, is this going to go bankrupt? I have no idea. You tell me. I'm just trading the chart. Pins is another one here, 13 days. Pure Storage. For those of you who know me, I'm in IT and I do a lot with data centers. And Pure Storage is a big competitor of ours. And I'm not going to lie to you, they make a decent product and storage isn't going away anytime soon. And you're starting to see that in names like Pure Storage. NetApp is another one. Seagate, they make the drives, you know, and Western Digital. But you're starting to see a theme here with a lot of these names that are in IT. And so Pure Storage, this was one that we took right here at this 53 area, and this was the breakout that we were kind of waiting to see if we could get. You know, you could take money here, or you could try to take this all the way back up to 58.46. But just keep in mind we have earnings coming up. Reddit, this is a fairly recent IPO. This has been running with all the other uh, stocks like GameStop and AMC. This is a trade that I actually took just on a daily time frame because we had this beautiful 2-2 reversal, and my target was to get up here, but by the end of the day, I mean, it was like 50 cents short. I just took the money, but this one still looks good. Love how we came up. We shook everyone out. We put in this nice base, and now we're starting to build this right side. If you're long this name, you're trying to get up to the 74.90, but just keep in mind, we've been running here for 16 days. Real. This is another inexpensive name. I'm trying to find some inexpensive names that other people can participate in because it seems like a lot of the people that I've attracted to the server are fairly new and their bank account is a lot smaller. So this is a name that you can see has already gone 2 up for the year, and it just looks strong on every time frame. It does need to pull back here in the daily, and I will be looking for an entry when that happens. RSI is another one that's just running and running and running. 12 days up, you can see we're 2 up for the year, 2 up for the quarter, 2 up for the month, and then we're trying to go 2 up for the week. Patience. You just got to be patient and let this thing pull back, and then it's going to eventually give you the signal to get in. Be patient, people. SILV is a name that we took yesterday around 2 o'clock or so. Love how this is already 2 up on the year, 2 up on the quarter, 2 up on the month, and we've got this inside week and this nice tight consolidation here. First target on this is going to be 875, but if and when we take that out, just keep in mind, we could run. We could get up here to this 984 area. Silver, silver is gapping up. It's been strong. Got a lot of people in the group who trade a ton of silver, and they just absolutely have been killing it to the upside. We've got a gal in the group who buys this thing and just has done exceptionally well. If you get into the Discord server, you can meet her. She'd be more than happy to give you some insight on how she trades it. Snap is kind of pulling back here. We're waiting to see if we can get the crossover back up. Tesla starting to find buyers again. And this is another one, like I said, where if you don't have $177, you can trade the ETF here for $7.72. And you can buy these contracts for next to nothing. And that's what I have here is just a cover call against this right now. But it's something that if you want to, you definitely can do it. This is more for educational purposes to show people how to do the cover call. Verizon bouncing off of that 39 area, very, very nice. And Wells Fargo again, that's going higher because the financials are getting bought. And then WMB, this one is a good one in my opinion because we've gone 212 up for the year. And as long as we can hold this $38 area, this thing is in force and it could get running to the upside. Well, that's all. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. And if you would like, come and join us in the Discord server. We'd love to have you.